Greetings guys, it's your favorite YouTube mechanic Raoul TV, Team R4UL. We're back again, R4UL, let's go. And what we're doing this time round is I've got a 2006 Ford Mondeo ST220. Is it ST? No, it's not, it's a ST, Ford Mondeo ST. And I'm going to go ahead and replace the front coil spring. Not the easiest job in the world, okay? There's two ways to do it. I like doing it this way, the way I'm going to show you guys. If you want to do it the other way, which involves a lot of battering, okay, I don't like doing it that way. So anyway, I'm going to show you my way. Let's do it, let's go. Right, there it is in all its glory, the Ford Mondeo ST. It's a diesel one, this. It's a 2-litre diesel. The thing is, I thought it's ST220, but it's not. It's just a normal ST. But it's got the sports suspension and everything on it, the sports spring on it. So what we're doing first is I'm going to go ahead, while it's on the floor, I'm going to crack the wheel bolts. I'm going to take the centre nut off. It's a 32 size socket we need. So basically we need the strong arm, size 32 socket. Let's crack that, at least crack it. If you don't take it off, at least crack it here. I would say best bet is to take it off while it's on the floor. Right, okay, as you can see, I've sent the car up on the ramp. If you're doing it on the floor and you're jacking it up, make sure you put axle stands underneath it. Make sure you put a block on the back. Make sure it's safe, okay? You don't want the car falling on you. Okay, so what I've done is, as you can see here, that is all loose, 32 socket. I'm going to take the wheel bolts off, take the wheel off, okay, and then we're going to do this bit first. The critical center, okay? We need this CV joint to go backwards. If it doesn't go back, then you have to do it the hard way, the other way, okay? This is my way. I think it's the easier way. Let's go. The thing I was going to mention is this center, okay? The center, obviously the nut will come off, okay? But if the CV joint doesn't go back, then you will have to do it the other way. Basically take this bolt off here, knock the hub down, do it that way. Well, we're not going to do it that way. We're going to do it my way, okay? So what you need to do is get a hammer, put a socket over that and tap it, okay, hit it so it goes back, or get a small chisel, hit it. Mission is you have to hit that, move it back, okay? So what I've used is a rubber mallet, one of them leather hammers. I'm going to bang it on the nut and hopefully it's going to go back. Right guys, the thing is the rubber mallet didn't do the job, okay? So what I'm going to do is I've got a hammer, chisels on the floor, hammer and a chisel, give it a little tap right in the center, hopefully it should go back. Okay guys, I've hit that, okay, it's moved back a little bit, so that's a result, that's a good result. I'm going to send the car up on the ramp and we'll tackle the rest of it. Alright, now we're underneath the car. First things first, we're going to go ahead and take the caliper off. One bolt here, 13 milli bolt. It could be a 14, it could be a 12 on yours, depending on whatever, you know, if somebody's changed it in the past. Mine's a 13 milli bolt. Spanner on that, take that off. If you want, take the top one off as well, and that way you can move it out of the way. Right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take the ball joint off, okay? So first things first, let's go ahead and take the caliper off. Right, both bolts are off on the caliper. I mean, if you want to, you can just take them off instead, that one and that one. But you know what? I thought I'll do it the easy way. So get a little pry bar, caliper comes off, take the pads off, and we'll go from there. Okay, the next job is we're going to take the ball joint off. Okay, as you can see there, I've put some oil on it. Make sure it's lubricated everything because it is tight. Okay, I've already cracked it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get a 19 milli socket, 1/2 inch ratchet, 19 mil socket, and we're going to go ahead and take that off. You get the picture. Let's take that off all the way. Right, if it starts spinning on this side, okay, you'll have to get a Torx. I think it's a Torx 50 or a 55, maybe a 45. One of the Torx, hold that and take the nut off on the other side. Right, the bolt is off. Obviously I had to put the camera down guys because I had to give some battering, okay. Nut came off, no problem, 18 milli nut. But to take the Torx side off, okay, which is here. I'll show you guys. To take this side off, I had to batter it, okay? So this one, I think it's been made redundant, right? We're not going to use that. We're going to buy a brand new bolt for it. If I can use it, if it goes on, then happy days, I'll put it back on. If not, just buy a new pinch bolt, and that's it. So that's off now. That's the result. What we're going to do now is we're going to go to this side. We're going to go ahead and take the track rod end off, move the caliper away, take the track rod end off, okay? Should be, I think, a 16mm or a 15mm nut. Take that off, give it a little hit there, should come straight off. Right, track rod end is off. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to send it down a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and take the drop link off, okay, the link rod. Take whichever side you want to take off, that is. If you're changing the shock absorber as well, okay, so I would recommend you take this side off, okay, this one off. If you're not changing the shock absorber, you can take it off from any side, because we're going to put that one back on again, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and take that off. In order to take that off, guys, all we need is a socket, ratchet, extension, or a strong arm, okay? And we need a 15mm socket. It could be a 17, it could be a 16, depending on what make of drop link you've got on yours, right? Sometimes aftermarket ones, they have 17mm. This one, it looks like a 17mm to me, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and take that off. All right, guys, as you can see, this contraction that I've made, in order to take the drop link off, you need, well, if it comes off the nut, if the nut comes off, 15mm on mine, that is. If the nut comes off, then happy days, it comes off. If it doesn't, and if it's spinning, you need to get one of these a Torx, basically a 30, bang it in there. If you've got a spanner head on around the back, then grab it with the spanner. I need two hands, obviously, so all it is, you have to hold that with one hand, ratchet, and the ratchet spanner with the other, and just take that nut off. Right, drop link is out of the way. We're going to go ahead and take this ABS sensor wire off. You don't need to take the complete sensor off. All you do is take the wire off, the plug off, and that's it. Okay, now that I have taken the ABS sensor wire off, to take it off, not rocket science, guys. All it is, there's the plug. You just press down on it, okay, and just pull it off. You'll figure it out, don't worry. Drop link is off, brake caliper is off, the track rod end is off. Okay, I'm going to send it back up now. Right, car is up again. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to separate the ball joint from the hub. I mean, if you've got a ball joint splitter, you can do it with a ball joint splitter. If you've got two people, one person to lever it down, the other person to basically give it a little hit, come off. So the main objective is we need to take the ball joint out of the hub, okay? Another top tip, if you flick that off, if you flick that out of the way, flick that out of the way, turn it all the way to this side, get a little chisel in there, okay, in this gap here, right, and give it a little hit, it should come straight down. So main objective is take the ball joint out of the hub and we'll go from there. Alright, obviously if you're going to attempt it on your own, this is the way to do it, okay? I'm doing it on my own here, so what I'm going to do is, as you can see there, just bend that out of the way. We don't really need that, okay? So we've got the chisel in that gap there, okay? Move it this way, you can see it better. In that gap there, the chisel's there. What I'm going to get now is a big bar, or even if you're strong enough, just pull it down, right? And that should come straight down. Alright, the chisel didn't do it, guys, okay? I couldn't do it with the chisel, okay? I'll be straight up honest with you. Raoul TV, keeping it real with you guys. So what I had to do is, as you can see there, get a big jack handle, big bar onto it that way. I pried it down with the big jack handle, and my brother gave it some hit, and it's off, okay? Right, now the ball joint is out. All we do now is we're going to give that a little bit more tap in. That will come straight out of there, and then obviously it's all free then. The hub is all free, the shocker is all free. We're going to send it down, take the top nuts off, or top bolts off. Happy days, let's go for it. Right, there we have it. CV joint is off. That hub is freestyling, as you can see there. There we go. It's only held on with the top nut or the top bolt, whatever it is. We'll find out what kind of design it has. I think it's got 3 bolts on it, or maybe the one. We'll find out. We're going to send it down and let's see what's what. All right, the car is on the floor, as you can see there. Dead easy on the top. We're going to take these 3 nuts off, 13mm nuts. As you can see there, I've marked one of them with white paint. I didn't have a Tipex on me, I can't find it anywhere. So I've just got some spray and just sprayed it there, you know. Happy days. We'll give it a clean out after. And yeah, make sure you mark it so you know which way it goes back on. Because if you put it on the wrong way around, the shocker might not sit properly, the spring might not seat properly, you know, might give you a clunking noise. So make sure you mark it and you know which way it goes back on. So anyway, let's take these 3 off. 3 13mm. All you need is a socket and ratchet. Let's take it off. Right, to take it off, obviously take them 3 nuts off, but if you're strong enough, then obviously you can hold it and take it off at the same time. But I would recommend you get a helper, hold the shock absorber and take them 3 nuts off. So one person take the nuts off, one person hold the shock absorber. Right, so there we have it. The full shocker leg is absolutely off. What we're going to do now is, because we're not taking the shocker off, we can keep it like that. I'm going to put it on the spring clamp and take the spring off. If you're attempting it with these individual spring clamps, make sure it's safe, because I don't recommend you doing it with these. You should phone a friend and see if they've got a pillar spring clamp and take it off that way. So yeah, let's take the spring off and let's fit the new one. Alright guys, as you can see there, I've got it on the pillar spring clamp, okay? If you haven't got one of these, okay, you are going to get the individual spring clamps, okay? Make sure it's safe. You can do it that way, but make sure it's 100% safe. All we need to do is, we need to take this nut off, okay? So now I've got it clamped up, I'm just going to whiz the nut off. What you could do is, when you get the clamps on it, put an Allen key in there. Even me as well, if it doesn't come off, I'm going to put an Allen key in there. 18mm or 19mm, whatever it is. Take that nut off and that's it. Happy days. Spring, take the tension off, spring should come off. Let's do it. Right, nut is off. What we're going to do now is we're going to release the tension on it. Make sure you hold the pillar, release the tension on it. Happy days. Let's get the new spring. Right, and there we have it. Spring is off. Sorry about the background and everything, but one day I will tidy up. Right, so I'm sorry about the background, but yeah, spring is off, and all you do is just lift it out from there. There we go. All right, there we have it. I've got the new spring back on, exactly same way as taking it off. I had to clamp it on the spring compressor clamp, and everything back on. Right, all I'm going to do now, 2 people, obviously it's quite heavy for one person to lift up and put the nuts on. So I'm going to get my brother to lift it up, or I'm going to lift it up, and one person to put the nuts on. Let's do it, let's go. Right, them 3 nuts are back on. All I'm going to do now is just tighten them up. Just double check them, and I'm going to send it up, finish the rest of it off. Alright guys, as you can see there, the spring, everything is back on. The shocker is bolted up. Obviously it's freestyling, it's moving everywhere. So what I'm going to do is, in reverse order, I'm going to put the drive shaft back on, the ball joint back on, caliper back on, drop link back on, the track rod end back on, tighten everything up, finish it all off in reverse order. Let's go, let's do it. That's it, job done. We've put the shock absorber on, the spring's on, the hub is back on, ball joint is back on, track rod end is on, drop links on, everything's on caliper, done, dusted. All left to do now, I'm going to put the wheel back on, send it down on the floor, tighten that centre nut up. I've already given it some with the gun, but obviously double check it on the floor with a strong arm, and then that's it. Happy days. Be straight honest with you, if everything comes off nice and easy job, okay? But Mondeo, Ford and everything, rusty. It was absolutely rotten, okay? So bear that in mind. Anyway guys, like, share and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell button for me. Leave a comment in the comment section. Raul TV, you know, hopefully it helps you guys out, hooking you guys up. And I'll see you guys soon.